What's going on YouTube? Crypto Matrix here, coming at you another cryptocurrency stream. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a professional leverage trader instructor, and I make my living trading cryptocurrencies with some serious efficiency. If you guys want to make more money, join the student program straight away. Links are below and above. And for those of you who want the little additive edge, you've got to follow me on my socials. For instance, on Twitter, I changed the color of my laser eyes, which way I'm leaning in the market that day. And that can really help you guys get some excellent entries. And for those of you who just want to know more about my life, I finally got my Instagram rolling. Be sure to give me a follow over there, guys. Just some of my epic times right out there for you guys to see. And guys, I want to talk about a few different coins today, including Bitoin, Electroneum, and Mana. Some excellent projects with some excellent gains to be had. And guys, if you want specific coin requests, you've got to become a member. But guys, there is no time left to waste. If you're not subscribed yet, definitely smash that subscribe button, smash that like button, and I am going to dive right into the price action. Alright guys, we're going to start out with the Bitcoin price. Just some very textbook movements here. I mean, my gosh, the patterns were just so easy to read. I mean, I predicted almost every single one in the last several weeks. It's been going really smoothly, including the Bart Simpson. The barbell theory is playing out, lots of wedge theory and patterns within patterns, just yielding some excellent trades, guys. Let me know who's been nipping these profits, guys. It's been an excellent week. And let's just talk about the last several movements here. We're going to zoom in real quick. A second here, guys. All right. So we're just going on the 1 hour right now on the BTC USD perpetual contract over on Bybit there. And guys, a nice pattern forming right here. Very clear supports, very clear resistances, and then lots of patterns within patterns here. Now, for instance, when you're doing your patterns with patterns, you have to go down to smaller time frames to really get a clearer picture of them. Guys, that's how I formed all these. For instance, you go down to at least the 15 or the 5 minute, you can really start to see these patterns within patterns start to pop out. And then if you go all the way down to the 5, just for transparency, you can see all the indication plays right into them. So I'm going to turn off the Bollinger Band just for a second so you guys can see a little better. But notice the crossing, the crossing, the crossing back up, the crossing back down, the crossing up, the crossing down, the crossing up, the crossing down. We're talking the 7 and the 20 for those of you guys who are not familiar on the estimated moving averages. An excellent indication play, and dare I say you get all three of them. For instance, the 7, the 20, and the 55. We call that a trifecta. You better take that trade. Now remember, guys, on smaller time frames, that's going to be quick in-out trades. Okay, you don't want to be lingering in these trades, in and out, locking your profits. That's exactly what kind of stuff I'm teaching you in the student program here. Okay, now the last move was very easy to see, guys. I mean, I changed the color of my eyes basically as it was happening, guys. I went red right away, and we have been just plummeting down hard ever since. I mean, there was talk of even much lower, you know, dipping into the 30s, guys. But let's be real. We had a major polar, what was resistance, now support coming into play right here. And look at all the touches off it. 1, 2, 3 touches. I mean, this doesn't get any better than this, guys. And that's the relevancy of learning polar support and resistances. For those, oh my gosh, I really don't believe that the majority of the population knows the technicals at this point. And after just, you know, being out and about, talking with people, man, there's a lot to learn, guys. And if you don't know what you're looking at, how are you supposed to make money? So understanding the technicals is very important. Let's just try to go a little deeper into it today. For instance, once we had the crossing down right here, the 7, the 20, the 55, I mean, this was more than a trifecta. I mean, we had the 100 crossing and everything on the 5 down here. Just a very sharp movement down, and we could be getting another pattern playing out right now. But there is definitely a lot of talk of maybe, you know, a double bottom forming out, something like this. We kind of go sideways for a little while. That's definitely almost to be anticipated because we're running into what was a polar resistance, now support, okay? So I'm almost anticipating that kind of movement right here, a little bit of a kind of steady sideways movement until like midday tomorrow, and then maybe another movement. Now the reason I'm kind of looking a little bit more in one direction here, I'm still leaning a little bit bullish even though my laser eyes are red, is because the Stoch, for instance, is loaded up right here. Okay, notice that. When the Stoch has been loaded up in the past, we have gotten serious movements, guys. So to be honest with you guys, I have just drained the last bit of cash that I have, which was set over in a Roth IRA. I had it in there for 5-10 years, probably 10 years now. I think with 30 or more they made me maybe 5. I mean, guys, I could have made that millions by now. Let's be real. So I'm going to definitely be putting that into crypto as soon as it shows up. They're still sending it to me in paper like a dinosaur. I mean, it's a damn shame, and it's embarrassing, guys. The world is digital now. I mean, if you're not involved in something like even minimally that, get out of it as soon as you can. And for those of you who don't really understand why I even kept it in there, I actually just kind of kept it in there as a joke. I just wanted to kind of see just how good I was in comparison to what the supposed professionals are doing. And my gosh, guys, I mean, I made much more, much less time and time again, okay? For very obvious reasons. Now, again, the Stotch is very loaded up here, so I'm expecting a good movement here, and we did get a nice bounce off of that major polar right away. So for instance, I actually watched this wick out yesterday, and in essence, it couldn't have went any smoother. I remember talking with several students as it was happening, and guys, we all bought this dip again, okay? Worst case scenario, we could leg down, I understand, but I really don't think we will. Like, it's actually going to be very hard to go down into the 30s in a super cycle right now and stick with logarithmic bands, okay? So let me elaborate on that a little further here. I have to switch this chart over here. I'm going to have to turn on the logarithmic curve zones. And guys, as you can see, we are below yellow logarithmic band right now, okay? You can see it right here. Okay, so we're basically retouching that immediate trend right here. If we break it, guys, these will be the most optimal times to buy coin. Now, the reason I'm not too worried, let's just go back in time here. And bear with me a second, guys. Okay, we're going to just keep scrolling back for a while. I'm going to close these so I can scroll a little better. We're going to go back to the second bull run, okay? And within that bull run, there was something that very interesting that happened, and we're right here now. Okay, so that would be this one, I believe, and I'm going to turn off everything so we can see. All right. Maybe we have one more to go. Yes, this is the one. This is the one right here, guys. Okay. So let me just zoom in a little bit. Now, the point of this is that we had a massive run up. Okay. We didn't quite actually touch, and guys, just for transparency, that's a volume reading, which is coming in right there. That's not actually the price action. Okay, that's volume. But look how the price action never hit top logarithmic band. We broke down, we panned off, and look, we almost touched green zone again. Okay, here's the relevancy. Okay, for those of you who are all new to crypto or even supposedly think you know what you're doing, listen for a second. This is a fact. This is what's going to happen. Okay, pay attention. Look, we almost touched right there after a massive runoff from top. Okay, within cycle. Okay, so we could run down a little further, but that's why I'm not worried. We're in another chance to accumulate. And that's why I'm pulling my fiat dirty money out of other investment and putting it into crypto right now, guys. That's exactly why I'm doing that, okay? Because pretty soon we're going to start to get that build up and then eventually that parabolic run up. And guys, for those of you who don't have your bags packed, this is going to catch many by surprise. Be ready. Be ready. The exchanges will be flooded. Things will be in peril. I mean, if you're not ready for this and say like your money's locked up for a week or something, you're going to miss it. Okay, it could go that fast. It could happen really fast. I mean, this happened over the course of, 5-6 weeks max. And guys, let's be real. I mean, that's still not a lot of time to make decisions that are involving some big cash outs. Okay, so understand we have some good opportunity here. If it goes a little lower, that's totally okay. In my book, just an excellent opportunity to scoop up some more cheap coin. And you might not get another opportunity like this. And if anything, this is the next local. We're at the next local bottom right now. Okay, so there's not a doubt in my mind. You know, we could now hit some much higher numbers. I mean, this is going to be elongated big time. I mean, we are talking like maybe even late next year now. It could take that much longer. And this this reaccumulation phase that we're in, man, it could just be longer than this. There could be much more time here now. My gosh, guys, this top is going to be massive. I mean, we're talking way over $200,000 at this point. It seems unbelievable right now, but I'm telling you, guys, it's just going to happen so fast, so quickly. you better be ready for it. It's that simple, guys. Be ready for it. That's exactly what I'm looking at in the Bitcoin price. And guys, just for even more transparency, we did put in a higher high here. Yeah, it was barely anything, but the next one will be a little higher, and so on, and then the pump. That's how it will go. And yeah, guys, it might take a little longer than we planned, but that's the beauty of a super cycle. This is the first of its kind, in relevance probably to the second cycle, but still unique in its own way. And I'm expecting some massive, massive movements, guys. Make sure your bags are packed. All right, guys, let's talk about Electroneum. Another amazing project, guys. Now let me pull off the log zones, and let's just talk about where we're at. We're over here on the daily. So a lot of people were worried about this right now. And guys, I don't think you have to be too worried. We are about to run into a very polar support here. Okay, and for instance, not this, that, but even trend line, which is going to play very true. I already have that labeled out for you guys. Let me just draw that a little bit more extended here. So guys, we're about to be retesting trend. All right, I do not think we are going to break this, guys. I'd be very surprised. For those of you who remember, I got my buys in way back here. I took a little profit here, actually, and a lot right here, riding all free coin at this point. And guys, I have done some accumulation in this phase right here. And guys, even those buys that I did there are now reaching almost a neutral point. So I want you guys to really understand, you know, I did put my money where my mouth is, so to speak, and I am riding this out, okay? I am waiting for the reverse pressure. We are getting closer and closer to it. Remember, as time goes on, the reverse pressure gets closer. It gets closer, gets closer, the bust. Okay, guys, I'm expecting this to happen. Don't get weeded out. I can't express enough. That's what these big companies are trying to do to everybody. They're trying to weed everyone out right now, scoop up your coin, and then sell it back to you at a profit. Guys, I see it so clearly. Don't let it happen to you. It's not something you have to do, okay? You don't have to get wrecked like that. You don't have to get feared out. Honestly, when I feel the fear growing in me even, I'm like, okay, go for it. And I, even in my own mind, I'm like, oh, this doesn't feel natural. But you have to get to a place of neutrality where you can see the picture accurately, okay, guys? And let's talk about what's just going on in the immediate here. Let's just go down to the 1 hour, see what we're working with here. And guys, almost a very mimicking pattern with a very brief moment of solid overbought territory. I mean, my gosh, we pumped way above the 200 here on the 1 hour, guys. That was a little gift of, say, like you caught the oversold territory. And if you guys are not sure about the oversold and overbought territory, notice the Bollinger Bands. Well, how did I know, guys? How did I know? Guys, it takes time. You get used to seeing it, and you know exactly what to look for. That's how I knew that would be oversold there. Obviously, that one's overbought. I mean, come on, guys. Obviously, another moment right there. But you guys get the idea. You can play these moments for extreme polar price action and then just play from spot to spot to spot to over. Guys, gains all the time. Long, short, long, short, long, short, right in, out. You owe yourselves nothing less. Keep doing it, okay? Make the money you guys deserve to make, okay? So a nice barbell theory playing out. I'm actually going to put back on the bands for a second. Okay, nice widening, the tightening, the widening, guys, and nice indication plays within. You could even talk about the bands, but let's just talk about the estimated moving average here, the 7 and 20. Nice little cross right there. The expansion of the bands, the riding of the wave, guys. For those who don't know my slogan, that is exactly it. When you start to see the price action riding the bottom band in between the 7 and the band, that is the riding of the wave. That can go either way, guys. Maximize your profit potential by recognizing that and taking that entry with some extreme aggression, okay? Now, we do have some worry here on Electroneum, guys. I won't lie. The 1 hour is unloaded completely, but we go to the daily, and we're still kind of in the middle. We're not quite there yet. The weekly, though, is loaded up, guys. Okay, so here's where I'm still kind of remaining strong and why. Okay, remember, guys, we had prices way up here back in the day. Way up here. And this is a coin that is developing. Okay, this is 2018, 19, 20, 21. Guys, we're going on maybe 5 years here. This is not a long time. When this thing starts to go, these prices are going to look like nothing. Okay? That's why I'm holding. And guys, yeah, let's be real. I cashed out like 50 million of my Electroneum at one point. And, you know, when Electroneum's $1 or $2 or $3, yeah, I'm going to be kicking my own ass a little bit. And that's why I'm accumulating in these retracement phases to try to get back up to 100 million at least, so that way I can really make some excellent gains when this really pops off here. Now I know, again guys, the fear is up right now. Remember, retest the trend, you make a buy, okay? You play the retracements, play the 4-hour, you know, play the 100, the 200, you know, those are easy accumulation placements, okay? Now again, let's just go down to the smaller time frame, see what we're working with even more. Now guys, obviously had a nice breakout. Let's wait for this pattern to really form out and play the patterns within patterns. So for instance, again, this is dirty. I mean, look at the volume here, guys. So what I would do in these moments is kind of just play it with what we have to work with, okay? We don't have much to work with right now, but we kind of got to feel it out, okay? Like, a lot of people always ask, do I start here? Do I start here? Well, it depends, guys. Let's see what happens over here. This is too soon to really have a clear support here. We don't have, we have something crazy, and it's just no good, okay? We need more than that. If anything, I feel like I would rather start around here and wait for another touch, to be honest with you, and that's going to probably hold more relevance, okay? For instance, some students came to me just going right through here, you know, with a brief moment of oversold territory. And yeah, that's fine for now, guys, but wait for a little bit more touching of supports to really form out a potential pattern. You know, we could even be forming a inverse head and shoulders here. I mean, let's see what forms out here, guys. We have a little bit of waiting time to do, and if you guys notice, for instance, you put on the volume. 1 second here, it's loading. I was going to say the volume is moving down, but guys, I mean, my gosh, the volume moving average has died off completely. I mean, that means a sideways movement, basically, okay? So, anticipating a little bit more movement and patterns to develop here, guys. Just keep your eye on this. Watch for what's going on. Watch for the volume spike to come back in, and you're going to start to see some kind of movement right around here. And then you can actually figure out which way we're going to break. But just in simplicity, say like we end up getting that inverse head and shoulders, we break the shoulder, you go for a nice little short. We break the major resistance here, go for that long, guys, and then ride target projection end to EMA to EMA. Easy money, guys, all the time. Electroneum's going to have its day, guys. Don't be weeded out. I'm gonna tease you if you do. All right. So anyway, amazing times for this coin, guys. Don't get weeded out. Yes, a little bit of downtrodden. These are gifts. Enjoy them. Enjoy them. Enjoy them. All right, guys. Let's jump right over to mana. This video is getting pretty long now. We're on 17 minutes, guys. But I wanted this to be very educational. Okay. There's a lot going on. Okay. Now, for instance, even here we had an inverse Bart Simpson. A little dirty, but it definitely played out very nicely. And barbell theory playing out just like textbook. I mean, not one I would want to curl essentially, but in trading world, definitely one you want to take. Indication plays for days. Stotch was loaded. EMA crossing. Several moments of oversold territory in the bands. I mean, you guys could have nipped this one long for days. My gosh. And guys, if you're not signed up on Bybit, my gosh, get over there right now and get trading. You're missing out otherwise. Just straight up. But again, same theories, waiting out for a little bit of action here. The volume is moving down here. We have a potential pattern forming out as we speak. Again, pretty dirty, to be honest. I'm kind of waiting. I actually am anticipating a little bit of a move up and then a bounce maybe up here. So I'm going to leave that a nice wide berth. Let's see kind of what happens here. I doubt this is a double top. It's too dirty. But in general, we have that kind of consolidation right here in the bands, aka another barbell theory playing out. Let's see where that breaks. It'll probably happen around midday tomorrow. And then I want you guys using your Bollinger Bands, your estimated moving averages, your Stotch, your MACD confirmations for all of these entries in combination with volume, guys. This is extremely easy stuff. You just actually have to know what to look for. Maybe I shouldn't say that. This is hard stuff, but the way I try to teach you guys is in a simplistic nature so that you can actually absorb it. Okay, that's the key. It's the right words which set your mind free to make you guys be able to do this. And guys, my promise to you guys moving forward is when I have a litany of subscribers, I'm still going to take the time to do this. I've already made it. It doesn't matter. I want to help as many people as I can find this freedom because there's too many big companies, too many bots out there slaughtering everybody, and it's just a nightmare for a lot of people. And it took me a long time to accumulate this knowledge. So I want to expedite your guys' process as best I can. Alright guys, so watch for these major resistances and supports to be broken on this pattern. Watch for a couple indication plays to start jumping off the page at you guys, and make sure that your pages are cleaned up. And if you haven't watched all my instructional videos, guys, check them out. It's definitely something I give as homework for my first hour students. And guys, that's all the time I have for today. This video was extremely long. I'm sorry about that, but just so much going on in the price action, guys. It has to be talked about. You have to understand what to do to make money. It is an extremely important thing. And without it, guys, you're kind of just playing a guessing game, and you're like, oh, I feel like I should buy here. Oh, that's not going to make you a lot of money. I mean, there's so many influencers out there with, 300 plus subscribers. Guys, they've been in Bitcoin for 7-8 years. I mean, I could have made a page with no knowledge and had all this by then. I've only started a year and change ago. All right, yes, I made my page in 2019, but I didn't start shooting until like mid to late 2020. So, guys, understand, we have 27 years to make a lot of money as this currency begins to develop, just like the rest of them before gold, all the others. We have a lot of time. Understanding the technicals, nipping profits every day is something that's very exciting. I know way too many people working 2 jobs, working hard. It's not a reality. It's not something you can do and expect to provide for your family, even as a man, as a woman, whatever your situation, guys. It's not made for us to make it. We have to do what we have to do, and that's the beauty of being involved in the infancy stages of a currency and development. Yes, we just kind of left that after 10 years, but you still got a lot of time, guys. If you're not making the gains you deserve, join this program. Honestly, if you can't afford it, I mean, that's a damn shame, because it's only going to get more expensive. So please understand, time is the most valuable commodity. I want to give you guys my time while I have it. I'm probably going to be teaching another 2 years, guys. And it's interesting, because I know a lot of people will look back on this video later and be like, oh my god, I wish I found this guy then. And that's the point, guys. If you're thinking about signing up, I know at least 8 of you, off the top of my head, that have been talking about this. Join. Get going. Get started. You're going to be upset if we get the parabolic run up and you're not ready. You're going to be kicking your own ass. So, guys, my gosh, I could go on and on. But this is something that has now become a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you're not making the gains you deserve, you owe it to yourself to join this program. And just remember, if you don't come from a rich family must come from you. I am Crypto Matrix. I'll catch you guys later.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.